President Biden and state officials are pushing for vaccine mandates, but some police officers are resisting. Will this lead to a police shortage? Welcome to America Uncovered. I'm Chris Chappell. President Biden and various state governors are calling for vaccine mandates, but there's been a lot of pushback. Republicans, of course, are the loudest voices. But there are others. Some parents are protesting, as are some teachers. And of course, we did a full episode on how Black Lives Matter Greater New York has been saying vaccine mandates are racist. There are lots of reasons why people oppose vaccine mandates. And opposition comes from both the unvaccinated and vaccinated. Yeah, you can be for vaccines and against mandates, just like you can be for coffee and against Starbucks. My body, my choice. Some people believe that they don't need vaccines because they've already developed natural immunity after recovering from COVID. Some people also believe the vaccine's development was too rushed. Many of them also worry about potential side effects from the vaccines or just don't trust the government or Big Pharma. I'm not saying they're right. I'm just telling you that this is what they're saying. YouTube, please don't shut me down. Anyway, there's a big list of reasons why it's hard for the government to get everyone vaccinated. But if you fire everyone who doesn't want to get a vaccine, that can create some problems too. Like when New York's largest healthcare provider fired 1,400 unvaccinated workers. Firing healthcare workers in the middle of a pandemic. Yeah, that makes sense. And now, police departments across the country are pushing back on vaccine mandates, such as in New York City, Seattle, Chicago, and many other cities. Why are the police fighting vaccine mandates? And what happens if a bunch of America's police force is laid off as a result? I'll explain after the break. Welcome back. Unless you just saw a black screen, in which case YouTube is most likely policing us for mentioning vaccine mandates, which is why we need direct support from viewers like you. Visit patreon.com/AmericaUncovered and contribute $1 or more per episode to help us keep the show going. Link is below. So, you know what the #1 cop killer has been the past 2 years running? COVID. Despite this, some police officers don't want to get vaccinated.
Across the U.S., some officers remain hesitant to get vaccinated. In Miami, officers are resisting a potential vaccine mandate. In San Francisco, at least 120 officers will be off the street after failing to comply with the city's order that high-risk employees be vaccinated.
According to Montgomery County data, nearly 20% of police officers and nearly 36% of fire EMS workers say they're either not vaccinated or will not disclose their status. 2 county council members have proposed a bill to make vaccination for all county employees mandatory or face losing their jobs. Lee Holland represents the Fraternal Order of Police.
Recent polling of our membership shows approximately 300 officers are considering leaving if this bill passes. These numbers are real and scare me as a county resident, and they should scare everyone.
The union and the county's administration fear that firings or retirements over a vaccine mandate would be crippling to public safety.
It's not just individual officers either. Police unions are fighting back against vaccine mandates. Unions are availing themselves of their collective bargaining rights to resist the mandates, citing laws and contract provisions that require employers to negotiate with unions when they want to change workplace rules. In New York City, police officers have to at least receive the first dose of a vaccine by October 29th. But so far, roughly a third of the New York Police Department's employees are still unvaccinated. New York without a third of its police force sounds fun. Both the New York City Police Union and the NYPD's Detectives Endowment Association say while they've fought to make vaccines available to their members, they're only okay with making it available as a choice. They don't want it mandated. And they've vowed to take the mayor to court over vaccine mandates. This creates a huge dilemma for New York City residents. Who do New Yorkers root for? The police or Mayor Bill de Blasio? Trick question. We never root for Bill de Blasio. Can't wait until he runs for governor. Anyway, in Seattle, police officers had to upload their COVID vaccination verifications by October 18th. But the Seattle Police Union is still fighting the mandate. According to the union, some 100 officers have applied for and were approved for medical and religious exemptions from the mayor's mandate. But instead of working for reasonable accommodations, the city of Seattle has chosen to deny these officers the ability to continue to serve the public. In Chicago, police officers were supposed to report their vaccination status through an online portal by October 16th. But more than a third of Chicago's nearly 13,000 police officers defied the city's vaccine mandate. Chicago without a third of its police force sounds fun. The Chicago Police Union urged members not to report their status.
We're going to provide 3 forms later today for religious, for medical, and for the conscientious exemption. Give everything at one time, and that's it. Do not fill out the portal information. I've made my status very clear as far as the vaccine, but I do not believe the city has the authority to mandate that to anybody, let alone that information about your medical history, and change the terms of employment, so to speak, on the fly, and you have to comply.
City officials weren't too keen about the police union using social media to criticize them and demanded a judge silence the union president and other union leaders. The police union filed a lawsuit against the city, to which Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot said, "Bring it." She slammed the Chicago Police Union for inducing an insurrection. Yeah, insurrection. I feel like we'll be hearing that word a lot from now on. So what impact are vaccine mandates having on the police force and crime? I'll get to that after the break. Welcome back. So what's been the impact of vaccine mandates on America's police forces? In Chicago, 21 officers have been sent home without pay after defying the city's COVID vaccine mandate. Dozens of Massachusetts troopers lined up to quit over the state's vaccine mandate. In San Francisco, 40 police officers were put on leave. In Seattle, 176 police officers and firefighters weren't allowed to report for duty after the vaccine deadline last week. Fearing that they would be short-staffed, the Seattle Police Department activated Stage 3 emergency operations a week ahead of the deadline, meaning that detectives and other non-patrol units will also respond to 911 calls. So if a bunch of police officers quit because of vaccine mandates, what will be the impact on crime? Especially since police departments across the country are already short-staffed. Police departments have been struggling for years to attract educated young talent. And according to multiple studies, more police officers are quitting or retiring. Some people attribute this to low morale and department scrutiny, especially after high-profile incidents like George Floyd's death.
We've lost so many people because of the political betrayal from our elected officials in this city. Over 350 cops gone because we were once the modeled reformed agency, and then after Floyd, these same politicians who invoked this mandate ran away from us as fast as they could for political reasons.
There's also the issue of burnout from overwork, especially when police officers have to make up for the lack in staff numbers. Some say we need to hire more cops, because less policing means more murders. Others say adding more cops doesn't always decrease crime, and that we should invest more in community policing or violence reduction and reduce socioeconomic disadvantages that encourage crime. And now, vaccine mandates have become another strain on America's police force. You think police had low morale before? How about calling them insurgents? Which would you rather be, insurgents or insurrectionists? Others are saying it's good that unvaccinated police and nurses are getting fired. Things like this also don't help.
As many as 1 in 3 emergency responders in some cities like Chicago, Los Angeles, right here in Baltimore, are refusing to comply with city vaccine mandates. I'm wondering where you stand on that. Should police officers, emergency responders, be mandated to get vaccines? And if not, should they be stay at home or let go?
Yes and yes.
I mean, thanks for risking your life and all in the line of duty, but get the hell out of here, you filthy insurgents. So what do you think? Should police officers be fired for not getting vaccinated? Leave your comments below. Once again, I'm Chris Chappell. Thanks for watching America Uncovered.